Welcome to Emit Radio's Limelight. Today we have veterans of soul, chairman of the board. We have Kenny Knox and Mr. Midas Hardison here. Hey guys, how you doing?
All right.
Doing great.
Great.
Thank y'all for having us.
And we have our lovely co-host and the infamous Heidi.
Hey, Heidi.
Say
Hello,
hi.
Heidi.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is fun.
Guys, we have heard your music over the years, and a lot of people don't know that you all are here in Charlotte, just entertaining and just destroying fans left and right. Not just here, but overseas as well. But give us a little background about Chairman of the Board and where it's all started.
The Motor City. Chairman of the board was the brainchild of Holland Dozier Holland. The fabulous, fantastic, awesome writing team behind Supremes, Four Tops.
Motown, that's Motown, right?
Absolutely, Motown. And so it was their brainchild to put a group together with, it started out as 4 individuals. And each individual doing something different as far as genre of music. And very successful. Chairman of the board was the first group signed to Invictus Records, which was Holland Dozier Holland, Eddie Holland, Lamont Dozier, and Brian Holland. So they come up with the label Invictus Records. So Chairman of the board was the first group signed to that label.
Okay. Wow. So where did the different members that are coming into the band now come? I mean, how did it form over the years? I know that this in the 70s or the 60s?
70s.
70s.
Early 70s. The group started in 1970. I joined in 1973. It was General Johnson, Danny Woods, Harrison Kennedy, and Eddie Custis. 3 years later, General Johnson, Danny Woods, and Ken Knox.
And where would the inspiration of the writing and the soulfulness come from? I mean, when you all were writing those songs and playing them back in the day.
General Johnson was a very prolific songwriter. He wrote Patches. He wrote Bring the Boys Home, Free the Pain, Worn As by Honeycomb. But he never really wrote a Chairman of the Board song. But he ever wrote, except for Patches, because Chairman of the Board did that first. But General was very talented, and all the inspiration came from him. He came from a singing group out of Virginia called the Chairmen. Now that's 60s you were talking about.
Okay.
That's the 60s. And you know, his influences were New Orleans, like Alan Toussaint, who was behind a lot of the songs by
Would I say the Neville Brothers? Is that
thank you. You're right on it.
Yeah. Okay.
You're right on it. So
that nice jazzy, soulful feel.
yes. So Alan Toussaint was he got the Showman, put them together, and he didn't put them together, but he produced a single on them, and it was like #1. Their first single, I think they were like 17 to 18 years old. It was called "It Will Stand."
Huh.
And in fact, Dick Clark proclaimed "It Will Stand" was the the anthem of rock and roll.
Wow.
Written by General.
Wow.
I'm still actually currently still finding out songs that I hear here and there that General Johnson actually wrote as well.
Wow. So his legacy just keeps growing and keeps affecting and influencing. That's awesome.
Absolutely, and Modest is right. You turn on the radio and you hear the song, and then for the first 2 or 3 bars, that's something General wrote, and it's true, you know. And he was just that. He was a genius, a musical genius. You know, you can count on one hand the geniuses: Stevie Wonder, Smokey Robinson, Midas.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but really, yeah, seriously.
Well, I was gonna say all of them came from Motown except for Midas.
Yeah. And I didn't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you
I was just thinking about that YouTube clip that we came across with the Jackson 5 a couple weekends ago.
Yes.
And the Jackson 5 were being interviewed. Michael, I guess they were young at the time, kids. And I think they were asked what they were listening to currently at the time. And they were like,
What song they like?
What song did they like? And they said that Chairman of the Board, funky, Finders Keepers is a real funky tune.
Ooh.
So they were actually listening to Chairman of the Board.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm gonna throw you off guard here, but of the Chairman of the Board songs, which one is your favorite personally, Ken?
Ooh.
And that's a hard question, I know.
Yeah, because everybody said it's like saying which one of your kids.
Well, yeah, exactly. Which baby? Yeah, right.
I have to go with the #1 song. Give me just a little more time.
Also on the Swiffer commercial.
Absolutely.
And on the Emit radio, I might add.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I know everybody in the Carolinas. I mean, they love hearing you guys, especially that song. But then the Carolina Girls.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But beyond that, see, we traveled nationally. We toured nationally. So that song, Give Me Just a Little More Time, was a international hit. Well, back in the day, we did the LA, we did the New York, we did Texas. We're all over the United States. And wherever we went, people would, they came for that song. And they came for Pay to the Piper, which Danny Wood sang. And I got to say about Danny, Danny was Mr. Excitement. Great voice. He knew how to command a crowd. And so we had a lot of hits. Give Me Just a Little More Time, Pay to the Piper, Everything's Tuesday, Patches, Dangling on a String.
Bless Your Heart.
Bless Your Heart. You know, that was huge over in the UK. Because we had to do that in 2018 when we went. Big request for that. And Loverboy.
Yeah, Loverboy.
So it's a lot of songs.
Yeah. A lot of songs, a lot of time, a lot of talent.
Better Place.
I'm on my way to a better
Place is a pretty huge hit. I guess here and as well as the UK. We did that in the UK. Yeah, that's right, because we just saw Ellie's saxophone solo come back up in the Facebook memories today.
Right.
I'm going to let Heidi ask you a question because I know she's just biting to get to it. So,
Well, now that we're talking about history and everything, where did your name come from?
good question.
Chairman of the Board,
Yeah.
Holland Dozier Holland. They asked a bunch of college students. Some college students came up with the name.
Really?
In Detroit.
I'm learning this as well.
Yes. They asked these college students to come up with the name. We got a new group. What do you think this should be called? And someone said, Chairman of the Board. Everybody says Frank Sinatra was Chairman of the Board, which he was, Chairman. But when you have more than one, it's men.
Right.
So the college kids came up with Chairmen of the Board. And that's a little known fact.
Okay.
Thanks, Heidi.
Got a little education here tonight.
Midas is still representing too.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
check out the T-shirt. Should I stand up?
Well, let's all. Yeah, you can stand up. Let's also ask why do they call you Midas?
Well, this guy's done his homework.
Yeah.
It actually started in college, man. I mean, myself, I've been dipping and dabbling, you know, with music ever since I was probably 2 or 3 years old. Started out drums, and then, you know, eventually got into playing keys and whatnot. And then in college, I got into some music production for talent shows, a couple of pageant stuff like that. So the guys I was doing music with at the time started calling me that, and I liked it, so I kept it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where
He lives up to it.
Thank you very much.
It fits him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, getting back to like I know you guys have written songs and you played songs, but like, lately, I know that you've got a current single that's out right now that's on Emit Radio as well. But what goes through like the music process when you guys are making the music? Because when I listen to that song, I hear it's like I hear the soul, and I hear like the vibe that's going on, and it's like I could tell that when you guys were putting it together, like I could hear the horns and everything, and everybody feels like it just feels like a great time when y'all are potentially in the studio.
Are you speaking of Each Morning I Wake Up? All I Need Is You Tonight?
All I Need Is You Tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna go before that.
Okay.
General was our principal. Can y'all hear me?
Oh yeah.
Okay. General was our principal songwriter. He's won Grammys for Patches and other songs. When we lost him in 2010, I knew that I had to start writing, because General and I, we produce all our songs. We worked together in the studio for, Jesus, probably 25 years.
Wow. It's a marriage.
Yes, and when we lost him, now I'm saying I've got to come up with new music. And my strong point is production. When you sit next to a Grammy award-winning songwriter, it's intimidating.
Yeah.
But I was listening the whole time. So our first song after General's passing was called You. And my wife had bought me an iPad. and minus, you know, about the what's it called? The app.
GarageBand.
Right.
So it was like, when I took it to the studio, the engineer said, Ken, this is just like we're all still together again. And so that's the influence General had on myself. After that, I came across a friend of mine, his name is McKinley Jackson. He was Marvin Gaye's last musical director for Marvin Passed. He also produced Donny Osmond, Tower Power,
Oh wow.
Jones Girls, rock groups. Now, he played trombone. Now, he had gotten in contact with me because these two twin boys named Melvin and Mervyn Steels, they wrote the hit song, the iconic song, Could It Be I'm Falling in Love by the Spinners.
Wow.
And which leads me to All I Need Is You Tonight. So McKinley said, look, we want to do an album on you guys, or CD. And so he introduced me to the guys, and I got with the guys and told them all about it. And the first song came out, it was All I Need Is You Tonight. And that was with McKinley's production and Melvin and Mervyn Steels, who wrote the song. Again, I mean, they've written for Spinners, Major Harris.
You said Marvin Gaye. You also said someone else.
Well,
Tower Power.
Well, no, McKinley produced.
McKinley. Oh, produced. Oh, I got you.
Yeah, but Mervyn and Melvin, their group was Spinners.
Got you.
So they're great songwriters. So now I'm back again, leaving one major songwriter to another. So the songs you hear in All I Need Is You Tonight was the rhythm section was cut in Philadelphia. We did the vocals in Charlotte.
It's funny you say that, because you said it was cut in Philadelphia. It was for the rhythm section and the horn section. Because when I hear it, it brings me back to the horn section is back in like the 70s. It's like it has that warm feel when it was recorded.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So those guys, they sort of rejuvenated what we're doing now. And from there, the UK kept calling because the record was starting to be playing over there. So we ended up doing, golly, in the past 3 years, past 2 years, 3 tours of the UK.
Wow. Y'all might need a
What
rest.
you gonna say, Mike?
Well, can we speak on McKinley's connection in hip hop?
Absolutely.
He's also the speaking of McKinley Jackson, who Ken just spoke of, he's Proof's dad.
Oh,
Eminem's friend. Rest
really?
in peace, Proof. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talent everywhere.
Absolutely. And what about Ready, Willing, and Able?
That's my second song.
Yeah.
You know, after the first song was a hit, you know, people were saying, we listen, we like what you're doing. So Midas and D's on bass, Eric Bryce, who played with Chaka Khan and Stevie Wonder, they're the rhythm section. And so we did another song called I'm Ready, Willing, and Able.
Right. And I just like to speak on, can I speak on the production process of that? Speaking of the iPad and GarageBand again, so when Ken, I think when I started with the chairman and the executives, they already had You, that was already out. So Ken had the guy, I'll call it a skeleton, I think that would be a proper term, of what became I'm Ready, Willing, and Able. And he presented that to me along with Brandon Stevens. We got to give Brandon and the rest of the guys a shout out. Brandon has a studio set up at his home. So Ken gave us what he had, and we kind of fleshed it out a little bit, and then took it to the studio.
Gotcha.
Yep. And
it's really amazing when I hear it. When I hear it, it feels like, honestly, it just feels, and it's eerie that you were saying that you felt like General was there with you when you're doing that, but it's like when I hear that song, I honestly feel like it's like you stepped right back into like that Philadelphia sound, the Philadelphia soul. I mean, it really good. That's when I first heard it, I was like, oh, I got to put this on radio right now. I was like,
and you're right. We like to do retro sounding records, and the king of that is Bruno Mars.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
He got the new, he's got a newer artist, but he's got that
old
feel
soul,
and that
yeah.
sound.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, my fiance and I were talking about that the other day. Just like certain songs, I'm like, man, this sounds just like this. Or this sounds just like that. I know it's like, but the songwriting process, and this is Heidi's daughter is a singer-songwriter, and Heidi is deeply in tune to the music scene here in Charlotte. But I've been a bass player here and there, singing, but I have been dibbling and dabbling myself in songwriting, but I just never realized how important it truly is. So I feel what you're saying, where you had never done it, and you start and you jump into it.
Yeah, I mean,
but you jumped into it and did and made it dance.
I was forced,
right?
But I'm interested in your take on that songwriting.
Well, what I've found, and it's been really fun to watch this, is just the material continuing. You get some great things, you get some things that are magic, but to still be able to draw that magic out, and that sounds like what you're doing right now, is to continue with your roots, with those things that first drove you.
Yeah. And you're right. I mean, that's where one thing General used to say, be true to your roots. And that's why we're still successful today.
I think you can never fake authenticity.
Right.
As long as the core of what you're doing is authentic, you can dress it up however you want, lyrically, musically, but I think at the core, if it's authentic, then it'll have longevity.
Absolutely.
Guys, I'm going to ask you guys it's sort of a quiz kind of thing that I like to do.
Okay.
In a few seconds, let me just used to have them right here. Okay, it's time to ask the band quiz here. All right, Temptations or Four Tops?
I'll take that one. Four Tops.
Okay.
Sweet tea or lemonade?
Arnold Palmer.
He's blending.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good one.
All right.
What about Jackson 5 or New Edition?
J5, baby.
I gotta agree as well.
Yeah.
I love New Edition too, but
Right.
Jackson 5.
And for today's many of our listeners are probably younger than me, honestly, but they might be steered more toward New Edition now because they've seen the different shows and so forth lately. But Jackson 5, they were the originals.
Yeah, and only because they said they listened to us as well.
Really? Yeah. The thing about New Edition, right quick.
Yeah.
My friend Ray Parker Jr. wrote "Mr. Telephone Man."
You know Ray Parker.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Detroit.
Detroit.
He knows a lot of people in the music industry. You'd be surprised.
I'm hearing it. Android or iPhone? I think we know this one now. After we just had the conversation, I think he's gonna go with iPhone. I don't know.
Not me.
No.
I'm gonna go with iPhone.
I'm Android all the way.
Ah, that's what I'm talking about.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
I'm gonna say Star Trek.
You a Trekkie man?
Yeah, I'm more familiar with Star Trek.
Like
you know.
like the new generation or like
The old school,
like
actually.
Kirk? Captain
Yeah,
Kirk?
the old
yeah,
school.
all right.
I
Yeah.
agree with mine.
Kirk. Yeah.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
I'm not really a pet kind of guy.
You know.
Hamster.
Oh, what really? Oh man.
Pet rock, maybe, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you know.
I'm gonna skip this one because I really want to ask him this one because I think Prince or MJ. Prince or Michael Jackson. It's probably the hardest one.
Yeah.
I go Prince.
You know, God, that's tough. I'm gonna have to go with Mike because you know that's what resonates with me more. I like them both, love them both.
I do too. And Prince for me, it's because he's musical.
Oh yeah,
He can play
plays
everything.
the instrument. Yeah, you got
You
to
know.
What about you, Heidi? I'm curious what your
That's
answer
a
is.
tough one.
Oh, I'd be going with Prince.
With
I mean,
Prince.
you know, he was just fascinating and so entertaining and just such a talent.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I
funny.
agree.
It's funny because when I was younger, I loved Michael Jackson. Actually, believe it or not, I know my voice is deep now, but I sang I sang Michael Jackson at like a talent show when I was younger.
Yeah.
I love Michael Jackson, and then when I was in college, I just picked up the bass. I mean, honestly, the guys were playing in a band and they were practicing and they put the guitars down. I just happened to just gravitate toward the bass and picked it up, and then ever since then, totally Prince.
Prince, yeah.
Yeah, he was just a musician. He's
But-
a musician of musicians.
Michael Jackson was the world's greatest
Entertainer.
Yes.
It's tough. You know, I guess it just depends on your own journey. Like for myself, I first heard Michael Jackson record. My aunt Marilyn was in the military, and she came home to visit, and we were leaving church one Sunday. And instead of riding home with my parents, I rode home with her. And she had MJ. I had to be maybe 5, 6 years old. I actually thought it was a female singing. You know, being a kid and hearing the music.
Right.
You know, then later on, she schooled me and was like, no, it's Michael Jackson, such and such. But, you know, so I actually heard Michael before I heard Prince, you know. But I think it just depends on whatever your journey is with the music. But, yeah, I like them both. Love them both.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to them both.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely. Rest in peace.
So, as part of your process, which do you think that you need the most or is more important, talent or music theory knowledge?
I can answer this one. When you say music theory knowledge, you mean like as far as reading music and things like that, knowing the proper terminologies and.
The terminologies, the keys, the chords, learning, you know.
Definitely talent, for sure. Because you can know all of that stuff and can't execute it, it doesn't matter. Okay, so in 2018, April of 2018, I was fortunate enough to travel along with the chairman of the board to go over to the UK for a 2-week tour, and man, it was incredible. Everything from culture to music. Getting a chance to perform there, of course, you know, doing something that you love to do, and and that affording you a way to travel abroad, you know, that in itself is a blessing, you know. But as far as doing the shows, man, like actually seeing the people over there singing along to the songs, that was incredible to me, because I guess oftentimes you really don't know how far your reach is until you go out and experience it, you know. So I got the biggest kick out of that, just to be over there playing in different cities while in the UK, and every night being able to look in the audience and seeing them,
The faces and everybody,
yeah,
the reaction.
yeah. They, I was wearing bandanas over there, and I'm still wearing them now, you know, just because with the hairstyle I got, you know. But and a gentleman there, you know, just coming to me after the show, and he saw I had a bandana on, and he was like, "Oh, I enjoyed, you know, your playing and everything." I can't do the accent, so.
Well, we'd love to hear you try to.
If I was fresh off, like, you know, coming back last year, I might try it, but I'm not gonna play myself like that. But yeah, he wanted to give me his bandana because he saw I had one. I still have it to this day.
That's cool.
You know, I think someone, the guy Al who was playing with us, Brandon is into soccer or football. You know, he made sure to get him an authentic soccer ball or whatever to bring back. I mean, everybody was super nice and incredible, man, and it's got to be up there as far as experiences in my life.
Yeah.
The thing about the English people, or the British, they know everything about you before you get there. I mean, they do their homework. And the first night was in London, and there was an article. You never know who's in the audience, you know, looking at you.
Yeah.
The next day, there was an article talking about our show and the great job that myself, Brennan, and Thomas, and also Midas and Dee, you know.
Right.
Great article, because you can't fool those people. They've seen the best.
Right. Right.
They've seen the best.
Yeah.
And I was really, really surprised when I was handed the article, but they were spot on about each one of us.
Wow.
And in other words, as the shirt says, the legacy continues, and that's what they were saying.
That's cool. I mean, that's great to hear the accolades of. I mean, it's always great to hear from your own people and here in the States, but then when you go overseas and you get that feel, that love, it sounds like they just opened your arms up to you guys. I mean, I know at least what I saw on Facebook, I was like, man, they're loving it.
And we changed up the set list, you know, as far as what we do here versus what we did over there.
Right.
Swapped a few things out here and there that would be more receiving to their audience, and you know, so we rehearsed at least a couple of months or so before we even left, you know.
Because there's certain songs they wanted to hear, and just like Miles just said, now see, we couldn't do like a Gone Fishing or Carolina
stuff.
Girl or the beach stuff.
Yeah, do Carolina Girl.
Yeah, right, right.
Yeah,
right.
They want to hear Everything's Tuesday, Paid to the Piper, On My Way to a Better Place,
Right.
Patches,
Right.
one of Brendan sings.
We did Finders Keepers up.
Finders Keepers.
On My Way to, but you already said that?
Yeah, the one that Brandon sings.
Let me think.
I read a book the other day.
Oh, Building a Love.
Building of Love.
Okay.
Those are hit records over there. But as recent as a week and a half ago, I received a message saying, when you guys come back, I want to hear Carolina Girls and Gone Fishing. I was like, whoa. So they look and see, they look in to see what the fans here like.
Right.
So they want to hear Carolina Girls and Gone Fishing. And
it also sounds like they just weren't just listening to like the top hits that they liked in the UK. That they're actually listening through the whole album, whole catalog, which is
I hear
awesome.
something that's funny. When we played Southampton, I don't know if Miles remembers this. There was a couple from North Carolina there.
I remember. Was that the last night? No, the next to last night.
Next to last night.
I remember.
There was a couple from when they came up talking about, "Hi, I'm so glad y'all here."
I like his accent. Minus you're on the drive now.
My accent's like a rusty.
That was a North Carolina accent.
I know that's a North Carolina accent.
I'm so glad y'all are here. And I said, where you from? Winston-Salem? I said, oh my God.
Wow.
Wow.
So, I mean, you know, it's, music is the key to everything.
Well,
It
your
is.
song "Carolina Girls" is an anthem for me because I was born in South Carolina,
Yeah.
lived in North Carolina, so it's all just brings a smile.
Yeah, it
You should tell
does.
the story how that song came about.
Carolina Girls? All right, so General, myself, and Danny, we was going down, traveling to the next show.
Mhm.
And General said, you know what, man? There's California Girls. I think I'm gonna write a song called Carolina Girls. And we all said, man, that's a great idea. But we didn't know it was gonna turn out to be what it was.
Right.
It is like you said, Heidi, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like a national anthem in regards to females. It gave females pride.
Mm-hmm.
Carolinians,
That's right.
pride. And because all you heard was, I wish I could be, a California girl and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. But now Carolina Girls were on bumper stickers,
Right.
T-shirts, and it's also one of the top 10 of the most Southern songs, hit songs.
And they had that challenge going on about a few months ago.
A few months ago.
Did you see that
No.
on social media? There was I don't know if it was like in regards to first responders or what, but they had some type of Carolina Girl challenge going on where I guess there was some
There was
firemen
first-
and some
Firemen and first
police.
responders.
Okay.
And to me, the brilliance of General Johnson's songwriting comes into play in just a couple of bars of that song. Even though it's titled Carolina Girls, but he's got the lines, California girls are sexy, New York girls are too. So those two lines kind of round it all the way off.
Right, exactly right.
So it's not just limited, even though it's aimed to the Carolina girl, it's not just limited to that. So he sprinkled
Yes.
Right.
California and New York, and then you get those two in there. You've covered East, West Coast, and then you can still have your,
Yeah, see, that's
your
what he
ode
did.
to the. That's
He-
brilliant to me.
He was brilliant.
Wow.
I mean, he thought everything out.
Yeah.
That's a songwriter. I just rhyming. But my rhyme hadn't worked.
Yeah.
But he thought out everything. Like you said, that covers all of them.
Yeah.
But that's how Carolina Girls came in, to be, from riding down the highway.
Wow.
And which a lot of songs come to songwriters like that,
Right.
and
I get my ideas in the shower for some reason. I don't know why.
You got to be
It
somewhere where you're
just hits me.
kind of secluded.
I got to run out and write little notes down and stuff, but
Okay.
but it is funny. But not to cut it short, but since we're talking about Carolina Girls, where are you guys going to be next here in the Carolinas? That's what everybody wants to know. Where y'all playing next?
Look here.
I can tell you,
This weekend.
don't know when this is going to air.
That's
but,
true.
And for the month of May, we're going to be in Matthews on May the 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
May the 11th, we're going to be in Virginia Beach. For
Oh.
Virginia Beach
Oh,
music.
wow.
That's going to be
Festival.
fun.
And then we come to, on the 25th, the North Carolina Wine Festival
That's
up in
huge.
Tanglewood Park. That's
Hold up,
huge.
now, hold up. Repeat that one
Yes,
more
I
time.
did. The North Carolina Wine Festival.
You never been?
And
I
it's,
want to be going. I
it's
think.
like 16,000 people out there. Yeah, different
That's nice.
vendors, all over the place, and it's an incredible time. This is like our 6th year doing it.
And people probably love it.
They love it.
They wine
And
sample.
it's not only
And they got it. I mean, they got to love it, but then they got to really love you guys being there because it gives them. It gives not just oh, it's another band, but it's like it's a band that is great and is good music while they're drinking.
Yeah.
Wine. It's got to
they
be a
have-
great environment.
They have other bands on the show as well.
Yeah.
So we're doing 2 of those. We're actually doing in Raleigh in October. One of the biggest venues we do is the Lexington Barbecue Festival. That's always like the last Saturday in October, right? So yeah, I mean, hey, the way to find us is to go to www.thechairmenoftheboard.com under tours, and then you can find us there. And everybody has their own individual Facebook pages. Chairman of the Board has a page, the Chairman of the Board Facebook. Midas has his. Everybody in the group, I have mine. So between all of us, you'll find us.
Yeah, definitely go to the www.thechairmenoftheboard.com. If you're on Facebook, go to search the Chairman of the Board, and you can keep up with our touring schedule there.
All right.
Oh, and another cool thing we always do.
Okay.
We always when we on the road, man, we go live. Like while we on the road, whether while we riding, just say hello to everybody.
Yeah.
Let them get a little sneak peek as far as how we operate away from the stage.
Road life.
Yeah, road life, and then sometimes during sound check and things like that. So
Cool.
I think that's something that we do that not many outfits do that.
Yeah, and they love it because they get, like you said, they're traveling with us.
Oh yeah,
Right.
they look
See how we
forward
do
to
it.
it.
Right.
This past weekend, my mom and my sister were on while we were live.
And we have people in the UK that they
yeah.
always jump on. And
Right.
come on, it's 5 hours difference.
Yeah,
And they're
still,
there.
they're dedicated.
they're five
They're
hours
dedicated.
ahead. 5 hours ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So Midas is right. It's a good thing that we do, and people, they wait for it. They can't wait for us to go live. When y'all going live?
Oh yeah.
So it's cool, man.
You got to use all of these social media, things to your advantage.
You do.
Yeah.
And I hope everyone else does the same and watches this, because
yeah.
this has been so much fun interviewing these
man.
guys.
Yeah.
You got to go see Chairman of the Board. I believe they said May 10th, and then also again at the Wine Festival when that's in
Tanglewood.
Let's go! Nothing I can see but you when you dance. You put the thing up on you, you just dance. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance. Ain't nobody leaving, so we keep dancing. Can't stop the feeling. So dance. Can't stop the feeling. Keep dancing. Come on! Oh yeah! Dance break, y'all. There we go. Give it up right here, y'all. Come on. Hey. Can't stop it. Can't stop it. Hey. It's not sweet. It's not true. And I hold it all to you. Oh yeah! I need you guys to help me sing. Can you guys help me sing? Let me treasure you all night, baby. Say what? Let me treasure you all night, darling. Oh, baby. You are my treasure. 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 That is what you are. Oh, you're my golden star, baby. You make my wish come
Chairman of the board, Brandon Stevens, Kenny Knox, Thomas Hunter, and the executive band. Introduce yourselves. John, saxophone. Not to play guitar. This is probably one of the hottest bands right now going on in Charlotte. They get played at Beachfest and many other festivals. We're so proud to have them on Emit Radio. Becky, please, have a question for you. It's the fact that there's still a lot of people out here who want to hear our music and see what we do. So as long as those people are there and they can see us and hear us, then it's our responsibility to go out there and get them a great song. It's your duty to make them get funky, right?
Yeah.
Board and Executive band. Introduce yourself, my friend. My man on the sax. John This is perhaps the funkiest band that's in Charlotte right now. You got to go out and see them. They're here at the Beachfest. You guys, I got to ask you, what pumps you guys up before you go? I mean, I know you got many shows all over the place. What is it that keeps you going before you got to go out on stage? Right now, what's going through your mind? What's up?
Right now, we're just listening to the band that's playing before us. Shout out to him. We gotta get in the zone, understand. We gotta go up there, play music as well, be on the same page, and do our best job. Ready. That's the best answer.
All right. Well, hey, man, I'm not going to take a lot of your time. I'm going to get at you. Stay over here. You got more goals.
I'm trying to borrow some of his.
All right. You guys go out there, have a great time, man. Do what you do, and see you know. Chairman of the board. Thank you. Personal experience in UK for the tour.
Oh, awesome. We've had the opportunity to go to the UK and do some shows 3 different times in the past 3 years. First time for me was fall of 2016. We did a 2-week tour in mostly the northern half of England. And over there they have the scene which they call modern Northern Soul. So really they just celebrate and appreciate 60s and 70s R&B music. And so we went over there, we did 2 shows, and we did another tour in the spring of 2018. We were there last April. So that time we were really all over the country. We did the larger cities in England, London, Manchester, Birmingham, Southampton, Sheffield. And that was a really great tour as well. And that time, you know, it was a little more satisfying because we already knew, you know, a little bit more about the culture from our first visit. And we were able to go over there and have a great time. They loved us over there. The audience was singing every word to every song. They loved to dance over there too. So
hopefully y'all can make them dance here in Charlotte, C-Town.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
All right, man. I'm not going to bother you. Go ahead and do your thing, all right?
All right, thank you, man.
So, I'm meeting with the mayor of Matthews. Your name, sir?
Paul Bailey.
Oh, okay. Paul, let me ask you a question. How did this come about, this wonderful Beachfest?
Well, we started out with Matthews Alive many years ago, about 26, 27 years ago, and we had such a good turnout from folks that we started to add on concerts and festivals like this, and Beachfest was one that came up about 10 years ago, and it's always been successful. People come out, they love being in the park, hearing the music, and enjoying the food trucks.
The food, the music, I've seen people out here dancing, and actually I think Chairman of the Board is going to amp it up a little bit more and get these people really dancing. But there's something about it, when I was walking down the street, it just had this great feeling of like this home feeling. I know it's called Beachfest, but I felt like I was back home.
We try to keep Matthews a small town. You know, obviously we have a huge community next to us, but we try to keep that small town feel, make people who live here feel like they're in a small town and not in a metropolis. And I think we're succeeding with that. It's been a slow pace, but it's getting better every year.
Now, if someone wants to become a sponsor or a vendor, who do they contact?
They contact the Park and Recreation Department out of Matthews.
Well, we're here with the mayor, chairman of the board, Mr. Kenny Knox, and we're filming each other. We're having fun, and they're getting ready to just liven it up.
Award winning God, Grammy Award winning, you were never able to talk to me. And how great that was. And now, This has been not cheering on that tradition as well. Well, all of these wonderful gentlemen, would you please make welcome the chairman of the board.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got you from Minnesota. Please help me welcome to the stage. Jonathan is the world of Beachfest. And this is the Chairmen of the whole authority. Mr. President, please welcome the
Get your hands up like this. Billy, we get to do it? Y'all ready to go get it together? Here we go. Ready to go.
One time. I want everybody else in the audience to do it too. All right, here we go. Come on. 1, 2. Make some noise, thank you. Thank you, ladies. Give them a big round of applause. Oh yeah. We're going fishing, y'all. Sing along. Here we go. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh yeah. Everybody wants me to be what they want me to be, but I can't be nobody else but me. Yeah, I'm sick and tired of trying to please everyone else. Yeah, I'm gonna take me some time to away and please myself. Yeah, I'm gonna walk away from go fishing, rest my mind, go fishing, leave my troubles behind, go fishing, ease my mind, if I don't get away from the price is too high, I'm running low. Yeah, I've been rusting for a while, ain't my friend no more. Yeah, what's the use in burn about and you can't do nothing right? Yeah, behind the corner, yeah, time to work it out. Yeah, I'm gonna walk away from my life. Go fishing, rest my mind. Go fishing, leave my troubles behind. Go fishing, ease my mind. If I don't get away from the get them up like this, y'all. We party the nephew for Beachfest. Oh yeah. Sing, la 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 la. La 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 la. Y'all got it. La 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 la. The heck with some problems, y'all, because we go fishing. Now, like I told this man right here, I've never been fishing. The reason being, Daddy always promised to take me and General fishing, but he would keep it to himself. You'll take me fishing. You'll take me fishing.
Now listen, we got our own rod and reel, and he's gonna hook you, crook you, and reel you in.
Go ahead, Ron!
Here we go. The heck with some problems, cause we're all gonna finish
It's grace. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Matthews, can you sing it for me? Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Y'all sound good. Y'all sing it for me. Come on.
Listen to me. I got a lot of things I want to tell you. You turn me upside down.
Sing the chorus for me. Come on.
This girl. Hey, the minute I saw your face, I knew that I loved you.
Great job. Give me a round of applause, y'all.
It's crazy. Such an opportunity place.
Go, go, go.
The minute I saw your face, I knew that I loved you.
Oh, yeah. Great job. Great job. Who else knows it? Somebody over here knows it. People like you're scared now. All right. Well, how about one more time? Everybody sing it with us real loud. Come on. Here we go. Keep going. Come on. One last time, real loud, everybody. Here we go. Come on. I knew that I love you. Thank you.
Chairman's in love, y'all. Let's rock back. Come on. One. Go. Oh, yeah. Hit me with some fun. Go. My friend Jerry used to hang out, doing all the things young guys do. We dance to the drop, drink to the drunk, chase the girls so they get tired and say I do. This ain't no anymore, Jerry ain't got no anymore. And it's so bizarre, you never seen it before. I call him on the phone, she's always on. There's not no time. Jerry's in love.